Now, there was a question about probability. If we look at the demonstration table, there was a question asked about probability. And that question was, a cube has 1 to 6 ratio here. A cube has 6 sides. What are those sides? Well, let's look at them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me count it again for you. There's a side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right in front, and underneath 5, underneath, and in back 6. One side says 3 on it. Another side says 6. Another side says 5. Another side says 1. Another side says 2. Another side says 3. Now, what is the probability of how many odd numbers, yes, how many odd numbers will we get on this cube if we threw it like this? Watch. What's the probability of getting odd numbers if we throw it one time? Like that. Then we're going to ask what's the probability of us getting even numbers if we throw it one time? And then what's the probability of us getting numbers greater than 4 if we toss it one time? Then we're going to work the problem. What's the probability of us finding numbers less than 5 if we throw the cube one time? It's about this cube and probability. Well, let's go back to the overhead and work it with digits, with numbers. Let's go back to the overhead. We talked about our cube, and we know that the cube has 6 parts, 6 numbers to it. We asked the question, how many odd numbers, how many odd numbers would we get? And how many even numbers would we get if we tossed that cube one time? Well, we said the cube has on it 6 sides, and those sides are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides on that cube. So, how many odd numbers do we have here? We have 1. We have the number 3. We have the number 5. We have 3 odd numbers. They are 1, 3, and 5. So if we toss this cube one time, the probability of getting odd numbers would be 3 different numbers. We may have a 1, a 3, or a 5. If we toss this cube one time. Now, we ask the question, how many even numbers would we get? Well, let's list our even numbers. We have 2. We have 4. We have 6. Well, we have 3 different numbers here. We have 2, 4, 3. We have 3 digits here. So, once again, if we toss this cube one time, the probability, the chances of us getting even numbers would be 3. 3 chances. Those numbers may be 2, or that number may be 4, or it may be 6. Probability. Now, we ask another question. What's the probability of us getting the numbers greater than 4? Greater than 4. If we toss this cube one time, Well, look at our listing, and the numbers that we have that are greater than 4 are 5. 6 is greater than 4. So once we toss this cube one time, the probability of getting numbers greater than 4 would be 2 times, and those numbers would be 5 or 6. What would be the probability of getting numbers less than 5? Well, the probability, if we toss this cube, of getting numbers less than 5, we look at the numbers up in our listing. We have 1 is less than 5, 3 is less than 5, 2 is less than 5, and 4 is less than 5. We have a probability, once we toss this cube one time, to get 4 digits less than 5, and they may be 1, or you may come up with 3, or you may come up with 2, or you may come up with 4. Once again, you may come up with 1, you may come up with 2, you may come up with 3, or you may come up with 4. And that's talking about probability. Continuing on, I said today's lesson would be a variety